All right, so today I'm going to attempt to make my snake skin or snake shed soap. So we're going to start by grinding up our snake skin into a fine powder. It'll help it to dissolve more easily in our lye water. So you can just use a coffee grinder, any kind of grinder, just clean it out real well when you're done. I end up always using isopropyl alcohol in mine afterwards, just to make sure it's sterilized and good to go. Okay. And that's a pro tip. Turn it upside down and then you can get it all out. There you go. Okay, so you're going to add this to your piping hot lye mixture. And you give it a minute, it really starts to kind of dissolve. It's going to turn the lye liquid a yellowish color. It won't dissolve 100%, but that's okay because that's what strainers are for. But as you can see, it's dissolved pretty good. So I'm going to strain this mixture and then I'm going to let it sit overnight for 24 hours just to make sure that everything that's left over gets good and translucent, because you want it to be broken down into its like cellulose level. So, so that's some of the bits that wouldn't dissolve, and you can see there's a little bit in there, but it'll all be gone by morning. So it's the next day, and now I'm prepping my oils. So I got to melt my shea butter down. So just get it in the jar, and we'll pop it into the double boiler or the microwave, and we'll get it liquefied here in just a second. Here we go. And boom. Anyway, pour it into our pan. It's pretty easy to do. Next, we're going to add our coconut oil. You know it's hot, California, when your coconut oil is already a liquid. We're going to add our rapeseed oil, and then we're going to add our olive oil. And then we're going to add our castor oil. For colors, I'm going with an all-natural color. I want this to be an all-natural soap. So I think the rose clay will be the best to represent the snake skin from the mold. And then I'm going to have walnut shells and sandalwood powder. So they'll all look pretty good. Keeping with the snake/desert theme, I'm going to use this agave nectar and lime blossom fragrance from Midwest Fragrance Company. If you haven't checked them out, I'm not sponsored. Go do it though. They have great scents. All right, so I want to emulsify my lye. So that means just adding it to my oils and just for about 30 seconds, just blending it in. And then I'm going to separate it so I can color it. So, so we separate it into 3 parts. 2 parts will be equal. 1 part will be that smaller one I'm pouring right there. I'm going to add a little bit more to that. But for the most part, these 2 bins here will be equal. I'm going to put the rose-colored clay in the small one, and I'm going to use that as the very first layer of soap that I pour into the soap mold. So I think these walnut shells are going to be my second layer because they're a lighter color. And then the sandalwood turns a dark brown once you saponify with it. So I'm going to make that my last layer. They're all going to kind of mix together in the end, you'll see. But I add a little bit of the fragrance oil just to help the colors blend in. Got to hold that down so it doesn't move. Okay, and now I'm going to pour it into the mold. I'm just going to cover that snakeskin mold completely. And I think that this red will really help the snakeskin to stand out. You're going to let that set up. I let mine set up just a little less because I'm trying to do what's called a drop swirl, where it kind of drops into the pseudo set color and makes almost like marbling looking colors. I'm going to do that with both of those. So as you can see, like at the top where there's that red, that's because it's floating up. It creates a marbled look. It's kind of cool. So I'm hoping that all of these will do that. And I'll just give it a fancy design. And then I just got to wait for my soap stamp that I ordered to come into the mail. And once this soap is all set, I'm going to stamp it with the winning poem from our haiku contest. And that will be our custom soap for the haiku. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this looks. Hopefully you are too. Stick around and wait for the unmolding video. That'll come out in a few days. And that is snake skin soap, everyone. Looks awesome.